It was the day of war, December 7th, 1941. My mom, Dad, and I were outside going to the store down the street from our house. Everyone was going about as their usual ways. It was then when shouting came from every direction and people running in a panic. The Japanese had bombed Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. What did this mean? Would we have to leave? We were American, but we were also Japanese. I guess the Americans were concerned and thought we could be spies. Weeks, or maybe even months later, they would not allow us into simple places, like the cafe we went to almost every morning, and our favorite diner. Then, we heard months later that a camp was being built for the Japanese Americans. They would allow us one bag, and we had to get rid of a lot of stuff. June 6th, 1942. The camp opened, and they sent almost every Japanese American on the West Coast to the camp. It was only half built by the time we arrived. Everyone was being forced in, the crowds of people getting off the trains. I didn't understand it. What did we do so wrong? Everyone was so worried. A couple days have passed since we've been here. It's hard. I have to even wait in line to go to the bathroom and even eat. My parents are worried about how long we'll be here. I've always wanted to be a nurse. I know that they're going to start having jobs for most people here, but they are going to pay us less just because we're not white. I couldn't do anything here. I wanted to see a movie or go hang out with my friends like I used to, but we couldn't because we were behind a barbed wire fence. I woke up this morning in my room where I had to share it with a group of people. It was very crowded. I couldn't remember what house we were in. More and more people were coming in every day. By the next year, we had 7,000 people in the whole camp, which honestly was a lot. It's been a year now, and they started getting more jobs for us, which is good, but it's still hard for everyone to get at least somewhat of a good job. This morning, I woke up and got dressed to go to breakfast like I do every morning with my parents, and today was extremely a long line. I just wish we could go out of town or something. We're being stuck here like prisoners, and sometimes I was allowed to walk around a little bit. We did the same things almost every day. Not much has changed. We're basically wasting our lives here just being in the camp. Although one good thing came, they were going to build a high school here. Not where I wanted to graduate, but still I could finish with some good education. But they weren't going to build an elementary or middle school though. There were so many young children that needed an education. They didn't finish the high school until June, but I could start right away. My first day of school was okay. All of the kids were put here like me. One morning when I woke up, I heard that they had changed the camp's name to Camp Amachi. It got mail mixed up since we were so close to the town. School was going good so far. I wondered when the war would be over. We talked about it a lot in school. During dinner, a year later, people in the camp were starting a petition, which was odd, but it involved about some of us volunteering for the military. I was tired of the camp. I didn't understand why we were here. Mom and Dad were getting pretty tired of it too. Being in a camp behind barbed wire fence was a challenge. I'm hoping we don't have to be here any longer. The food is becoming flavorless and there's no fun here. We were hearing about news about the war going on outside the camp. It's crazy. All the countries are mostly against each other, but some form some allies. It was a good day. Everyone in the camp had heard that the war had ended in Europe. Could we be next? I was so excited. We were all relieved to hear that it was over. After the final battle, Japan had surrendered and the war was over for the U.S. They had talked about releasing us. It was July when we finally left the camp. It was the happiest day of my life. My parents had considered leaving the U.S., but then we went back to the West Coast. We were finally free, after 3 years in the camp. I'm ready to explore and become a nurse. The camp actually closed on October 15th, 1945. Many years has passed, and I'm much older now. Those days in the camp were hard, and now it's abandoned and useless.